If you've been experiencing a serious disconnect between what you're delegating to your team and what's actually getting done, this video is for you. For more videos like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can get notified every time I post a video about team, leadership, management, you name it. I'm gonna be sharing some of the exact processes that I've used with my 75 plus private clients that have yielded massive success. They've been able to go on to take a step back from their day-to-day, really begin to start second businesses, hire more people, and collectively they've taken more than 7,000 hours of vacation time. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I know a lot of times after we hire people, there can be this massive disconnect where we feel like, okay, I got the bodies in the door, I was clear on who I needed, I had a really good onboarding process, really good training process, but now just in the day-to-day, I'm finding that there's like I said, a disconnect, right? And so I wanna talk through some of the reasons why that may be happening and how you can then fix it. So we're gonna talk about the what, the how, and the who of delegation. So your first step in really starting to bridge this gap is getting really clear on what you need help and support with. I want you to ask yourself some questions like, what would really move the needle for me today? Right? What are a few things that are keeping me from doubling my revenue right now, right? What are some of the operational things that are keeping me from doubling my revenue right now? That is likely going to give you the framework for what you really need support with. Now, when we hire people like, admins, VAs, social media people, I think a lot of times we automatically go to that low-hanging fruit or, managing the emails and the admin and, some of the back-end stuff. And while that is so important, you as the CEO can likely be supported on a much deeper level if you would just take the time to uncover, what do I actually need help with? Now, when you take the time to do this, it's not only going to help you, become served on a deeper level, but it's going to really open up your team members to start really meeting their fullest potential. A lot of times we're keeping our team in this small box because we're only giving them like the small one-off tasks that we can kind of think of, or just like the easy things that don't really need a person to do. They can likely be handled by some sort of automation, right? So when you allow your team to serve you on a deeper level, they really start to soar as well. And that's when you'll find that team members start to feel like partners, people who are like really invested in the business and who really want the business to succeed. A lot of times when they're not going above and beyond and taking that initiative, sometimes it's just because they don't know how. They've never been put in position to go deeper than what they've always done. Now, the second thing that you want to do and really think about is delegating to your team members within their zone of genius. We talk a lot about the CEO and how they should be in their zone of genius at all times, but the same is true for our team members, right? We want to keep them in their area. Now, when you're writing your job descriptions, you want to feel crystal clear on what exactly is that zone that you want them to kind of stay in. My general rule of thumb is that you never want a team member in more than 2 buckets of the business, right? You don't want somebody in your operations and your systems, but also in your marketing, or someone in your operations and your systems, but also managing your clients, right? We want to be able to keep them where they best serve. I want you to think about when you were the solopreneur and you were wearing all the different hats in your business and managing all the different buckets, and how scattered you felt, how you felt like you could never really accomplish anything because all day you were just checking all the different areas to make sure there were no fires. It's the same thing with our team members. And sometimes when we as the CEO make that one like right hand hire, just our right hand hire, that is oftentimes us trying to take 10 of the hats we were wearing and giving 8 of them to another person, which defeats the purpose, right? We really want to keep them where they can best serve the business. So what about you? Have you ever given a team member things to do in all types of areas of the business and then felt like it wasn't working? Let me know in the comments. So now that we've talked about the what and the who of delegation, the what being what do I actually need help with, right? And the who being the people on your team and making sure that you're delegating to them within their zone of genius, now we have to talk about the how. How do you actually delegate effectively? So first things first, you want to be clear and consistent with the way that you delegate. Now, as you start to work with your team, it can get really easy to go from putting all your tasks in ClickUp, Asana, whatever project management tool you're using, and then eventually they start sneaking into Slack, they start sneaking into emails, and it kind of starts to feel like tasks are everywhere. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm so guilty of this sometimes. Sometimes it feels easy to just throw something in Slack, but we want to make sure that we're doing our best effort to keep it it all in one place. What that's going to do is cut down on the confusion for your team member. They're going to know exactly where to go to get their tasks. There's going to be due dates assigned and, all the resources and stuff that they're going to need to do that task. Now, to take it a step further, you want to try to keep your tasks in one spot, even inside of your project management tool, right? So for those of us that use ClickUp or something similar that has the list feature, the board feature, or Kanban feature, we're basically going to want to create a space where tasks are assigned. Now, on my team, we do have multiple spaces, but those multiple spaces are related to the roles, right? So we have a marketing board. That's where all marketing related tasks go. Then we have a Grindaholics Anonymous board, which is my signature program. It's our bread and butter. It's the main thing we do, where all Grindaholics Anonymous related tasks are found. What this does is, again, it just takes it a step further of being even more organized and detailed with the way that we're giving our tasks versus you log into ClickUp and there could be a task anywhere, you could be missing it and you wouldn't even know. Now, within the task itself, there's a couple components that you want to keep in mind. You want to have, of course, a very clear title and description of what you need to be done. My personal favorite is to record a quick Loom video, kind of walking through the task itself. But then on top of that, you're also going to want to make sure that you have a due date put in place. A lot of times you can collaborate with your team members on when things are going to be due, just making sure that it's stated within ClickUp. Resources. What resources can you add for this particular task? If you're asking someone to start a whole new project, have we done anything like this in the past? Are there any relevant examples or just case studies, anything that we could give them that would help them better be able to do this task? Offering support, checking in with them periodically, because what you don't want to do is check in with them for the first time once the task is completed. What happens there is we feel like it wasn't done right, it wasn't done well. Now we want the team member to do it over again. They're feeling like, dang, why couldn't she have given me this direction sooner? And you're feeling like, why didn't they know what I wanted? So sometimes that disconnect happens in the lack of communication. I think so many entrepreneurs are so afraid of micromanaging that sometimes we're not managing at all. Don't be afraid to offer support and step in and give feedback, right? When you can kind of create a culture of collaboration and a culture of speaking up when you're having an issue, speaking up when you need help, it's going to feel so much easier to provide that support without you feeling like it's coming across as micromanaging. So today we talked about how you can better delegate to your team, have clear expectations so that you can bridge this gap between what you delegated and what actually got done. So first things first, you're going to want to figure out, what exactly do I even need to be delegating to this person? Who should I be delegating this to? Making sure that we're only delegating within the zone of genius of our team members. And then finally, the how. We talked about how to actually delegate, what that task assignment should look like, what the supervision should look like in between. So take this back to your team, see how this works for you. Hopefully you're able to create a much better just playing field for delegation within your business. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely let me know below what you enjoyed the most, and I'll see you in the next video.